the Pride Month is coming to an end, but I wanted to make a little video for it. For obvious reasons, look at me, I'm the biggest lesbian in the whole world. But instead of just focusing on me and doing a little rainbow, making it all about, I wanted to make something celebrating specifically Miss Marsha P. Johnson. She's wonderful. We're celebrating her today. So I wanted to do a little trans flag inspired painting for my Pride video. Woo! Miss Marsha, this is for you. It's a beginner style tutorial. Other than the blending of the sky in the background, which can be kind of tricky, you might still have a hard time with it. That's okay. That's totally okay. Have some patience with yourself. Okay, so what we got? We have a piece of board here. It's just a piece of MDF board. You can use canvas, you can use paper, you could use whatever you want. I'm using this tiny little board today. A little collection of brushes. I'm just gonna choose as I go along. I've got a paper towel here, I've got some water, and I've got my paints. So we're doing acrylics. If you don't have some of these colors, don't worry about it. If you don't have magenta, red's gonna work just fine for you. If you don't have two kinds of blue, one blue's gonna work just fine for you. I just like to have some options here. So I have ultramarine, light blue, magenta, quinacridone crimson, yellow medium azo, titanium white, and Mars black. Use what you got. You don't have to have the exact same colors as me to make a pretty painting. So what I want to do is I want to really quickly, just so that I have an idea of where I want the colors to be, because we're going for trans flag inspo, so it's going to be some kind of like gradient. It's going to look kind of sunsetty. It's going to be very pretty. Let's get mixing up our light blue color. Taking a little light blue, and I'm taking some white, and I'm mixing that together. I'm also going to add tiny little bit of magenta, or you could use red, and a tiny little bit of yellow. So small. I just want to tweak this color ever so slightly so it's just not quite as vibrant. I want it to look just slightly more natural, and maybe a little more white in there too. Also, mixing up with my paintbrushes, maybe not ideal. You can use a palette knife, which I have right here, but I'm being a lazy ass. So guess what? I am mixing it up with my paintbrush. That's just how life is today. And I want to pull it across the top, just like that, as well as the bottom down here, just like that. All right, I want to start switching it to pink, so I'm gonna add magenta and a little more white. Blending with acrylics is very difficult unless you're working crazy fast. My recommendations would be just mixing up a bunch of transition colors as you're trying to move from color to color. That's usually how I go about it, because it can be real tricky. We want to go a little pinker, more white, more magenta, more red. Just pulling that across. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Man, I'm digging that. This is like a really nice color. I'm so into it. Okay, and now we're switching to like pink. So we're gonna use a lot of white here. We're gonna use our little red. Real pretty. Ooh. Yeah. What we've got going on here is that we have the sky and then we have water. So every color that's in the sky is also gonna be reflected in the water. And now I want to start moving towards a lighter pink, and then we're going to go mostly white right in the center. So let's get this going. I'm going to add a little more water. There we go. And I'm going to take my white, just like that, and do the center. Start blending that up. I think I'm gonna take a little more time to do another layer. You can do that if you want, if you're happy with where yours is at. You don't have to do that. But I'm gonna do my thing, and you do yours, as Tabitha Brown says, because that's your business. I'm obsessed with Tabitha Brown, by the way. Who isn't? Who has not seen that woman have been like, I'm obsessed with you? There we go. Ooh, I'm very excited with how that turned out. Super freaking cute. So now we have this like trans flag kind of thing going on, and on top of it, we're gonna create a little landscape. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add mountain in the back. This is going to be water. We're gonna have a little island here, on a little island right in the front with a couple trees and maybe some clouds. We'll see what happens. So let's mix up like a bluish kind of purple, and I want to create like an atmospheric kind of effect. So we're gonna make it a little bit of a lighter color. No stress about it, no stress. We're gonna make it happen, I promise. I'm still using the same brush. It's just a little filbert. I'm gonna take some of this ultramarine. I'm gonna take magenta, a little bit of yellow to mute it down a little bit. I know it seems crazy, but if we're making a purple and we want it to be not like just the most vibrant purple you've ever seen in your entire freaking life, yellow is opposite purple on the color wheel, so it mutes it down a little bit, so it's not quite as vibrant. More yellow, mute. Ooh. Okay, I added a little too much yellow and now it's gunky. No like. That's looking a little better. What do you think of that? And you don't have to do the same color as me. You can do it however you want. So I'm gonna add my mountain, and this is scary. I know you made this really nice, pretty little gradient here. It's super scary, but I'm gonna go straight line across, not quite in the center, below the center of my painting. I'm gonna make my little horizon line here. Take your time to do this, don't rush. Also, if it's not straight, who cares? It don't matter. My horizon lines are never straight. You could let this dry and then take a little ruler and draw out your horizon line. I ain't doing that. And I wanna make it look like we've got some like little mountains going on. So I'm going to make like a little peak here, like that. If I clean it up, it's looking kind of chunky. Boop. Boop, 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 boop. My hair right? Oh no! Oh dear. Okay, little accidents happen. I pulled my horizon line down too low. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna extend it a little bit. Not so bad. Could be a little cleaner, but it's okay. This does not have to be a perfect painting by any means. We added in this little hump here, and I want another one, and like right there. There we go. Okay, so that's our little mountain. And what I want to do really quick is I kind of want to add some little clouds in here too before we start adding a bunch of stuff to the foreground. So I'm going to take this white and I'm going to make like a light pink kind of color that kind of looks like this color here. There we go. And I'm going to add a good amount of water to it. And what I'm going to do is I'm just kind of, I know it's going to freak you out. This is going to freak you out because it's adding something crazy onto a really nice gradient we made, but I'm gonna add just some little clouds going this way. Make them light, make them subtle, and kind of impressionistic. I'm not gonna worry too much about how they're looking or making them perfect. I'm kind of just doing this like circle motion and letting them do their thing. Just a little something, adds a little bit of dimension to this painting. Also, if this step makes you too uncomfortable and you're not into it and you like your sky exactly as is, do not worry. You can skip whatever step you want to. Make this painting your own. First, I want to make some ripples in the water that reflect more of this white because we don't have as much white here. So I'm going to take actually the same light pink that we had here for our little clouds. Since it's nice and light, maybe add a little more white to it, just like that. And a good amount of water so it's like flowing pretty nicely. And I've got a nice pointed detail brush here. It's just like a round brush. I'm just gonna go on and I'm gonna start adding tiny little streaks. This is showing where the little waves are, the little undulations. So I want them to be really small, way far in the back. And this is looking real subtle. This is very subtle right now. And as they move a little bit closer to the front of your painting, they're gonna get a little bit bigger. Let's leave that like that for right now. Because what we're gonna do is we're going to start our little island. So what I want, it's kind of just got a little flat end there. First I'm gonna mix the color. Look, I'm actually gonna use my palette knife. Like a big girl. Ultramarine and magenta and mix. I wanna make a very dark purple. And I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow too. Mute it down because it's opposite of purple on the color wheel. It is, isn't it? Isn't that right? Am I wrong there? And we're going to draw out my little island, and this is another scary step. Taking it in from the side. I'll have to do this a couple times because I want it to be nice and dark. It's just gonna come to about halfway through our painting. Comes to a little point there, This is just the little land that we're gonna have, and then we're gonna set a couple little trees on top. So I wanna make the water line nice and flat. So wherever the water is going to meet your little island, keep it a pretty straight line, just like your horizon line. The top part can be a little lumpy, and we're gonna add some trees. So let's drop one in here. Boop, boop. I should be using a thinner brush for this actually. I'm gonna take a nice thin brush to make this tree trunk. I'm gonna bring out this guy again, just because I have a lot more control and making it nice and thin. Bam. And I'm gonna go back to my little shader, this guy. I wanna start adding some little branches. So I'm just taking the flat part, I'm just tapping to create some little branches on this little evergreen here. Just like that. Oops, I almost threw my paintbrush across the room. Oh geez. Kind of randomly, I'm making it a little uneven. I'm trying not to make it too perfect because trees aren't perfect. They grow vaguely in a symmetric way, but not perfectly. They keep their balance without being exactly symmetric. So try and do that with your painting too. Keep your trees not perfect, but balanced. Adding our neighboring tree. Boop, got a little lopsided, but that's okay. There we go, a couple branches on him. And then I think I'm gonna actually add one more, and this guy's itty bitty. He's a little guy, but it doesn't make him any less beautiful. I think this is a pretty handsome tree right here, but kind of short. Still handsome. Oh, so handsome. Look at those little branches. Oh my goodness. Take all the time you need to put these little branches on, to decide where you want your trees to go. You do not need to rush this painting. There is no reason for you to rush it. You should be letting yourself enjoy this, regardless of any mistakes you feel like you're making. I want to fill in our island a little more. Since it was a little bit see-through, it was showing through to our water a little bit, and I don't want that. I want it to be nice and dark. I want to add some reflection for these guys, so let's take a little bit of this color that we have left over, and I'm gonna add some blue, lighter blue, and maybe a little bit of red and a smidgy of white. Just making a lighter purpley kind of color. And I'm gonna add a lot of water, and I just want to add some little streaks that are showing that these trees are reflected in the water. So I'm gonna go boop, 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 boop. And I'm not being super careful about this. I'm kind of just dropping it in and making space between these lines. Just like that, so it kind of looks like that's reflected. So I want to do that back there, the tiniest little bit for our mountains too, because I forgot to do that. So now we are gonna put something in the very, very, very foreground, something that's super close to us. And it's gonna be one big, beautiful tree. She is going to be so gorgeous. And we're gonna do her in black because we want her to be very, very contrasty, super silhouetted. So first we gotta give her a little island. I know it's scary to paint over this pretty water you made, but I'm just gonna take some straight black here. Not mixing it with nothing. Adding a little bit of water so it flows nicely because my black paint's kind of chunky. She's gonna be big and beautiful. You're gonna freak out about how big and beautiful she's gonna be. She's gonna be gorgeous. Are you ready? I'm so nervous for her arrival. Ooh! Oh my gosh! She's almost reaching the top. She's so tall. She got a nice thick trunk. She's strong. There we go. And she needs some big, beautiful branches. And I'm using the same filbert brush here, and I just have it nice and flat and pointed, and I'm using that part to just draw in my branches. And because this tree is closest to us, I'm making sure that I am getting it nice and detailed. I'm being a little more careful than I was with these trees back here. She's a little closer to us. She needs a little more attention. Maybe she's a little high maintenance, and we love that about her. I'm a little high maintenance, so we can relate. Oh my gosh, she's amazing. I'm gonna make her even a little bit taller. She's almost touching the very top. Oh, I love it. I love it. Yeah, I love her. She's probably got some tree friends over here, but over here, maybe she's got a couple little like bushes. Maybe some like shrubs, a little something here. It's just chilling out on the island. You know what? Oh, I said I wanted her to be the only tree there, and now I'm like, oh, I feel like she needs a baby sister. Yeah, we're gonna give her a baby sister. Here comes baby sis. Ooh, so she's a little smaller, she's a little scrawnier. Doesn't make her any less beautiful. Get her some little branches. There we go. You know what? I gotta do it. I literally don't know how to finish a painting without doing this. I'm adding a moon. I can't not. Somebody try and stop me. Right there. Oh, it just makes a painting 10 times better as soon as you put a moon in there. I'm telling you. Amazing. You can't tell me that didn't make the painting 10 times better.
I will not listen.
Here's my little painting, celebrating the life of Miss Marsha P. Johnson and all other trans lives out there. I see you and I love you so much. This is for you. I'm gonna put some links here to maybe donate this pride. I'm gonna be donating to probably at least one of these, so you should do it too. Here's my peer pressure to donate. To do it! Just send your money over here. I hope you're having a happy pride. I know it's a little different this year, but I hope you're still celebrating whatever ways you want to celebrate. I'm gonna have the real-time version of this tutorial up on my Patreon for all my little Patreon folks. And I might paint a rainbow next time, because I love me a rainbow. I'll see you in the next video.